Picture this: a young man standing nervously backstage at a small comedy club. His palms are sweaty, his heart is racing, and his name is about to be called. He walks on stage, grabs the mic, tells his first joke, and the crowd doesn't laugh. In fact, they boo. Some even yell for him to get off the stage. Most people would quit right there. Most people would take rejection as a sign that they're not cut out for the dream. But not Kevin Hart. This is the story of how a short kid from Philadelphia, mocked for his height, rejected by countless comedy clubs, and told he'd never make it, became one of the world's highest-paid entertainers. Kevin Hart's story isn't just about comedy. It's about resilience, a relentless work ethic, and believing in yourself when nobody else does. From the bottom stages of open mic nights to blockbuster films, global tours, and a business empire, Kevin Hart built his success joke by joke, hustle by hustle, and along the way, he redefined what it means to be unstoppable. So if you've ever faced rejection, if you've ever been told you're too small, not talented enough, or not cut out for this, stay with me. Because Kevin Hart's journey will show you that the only limits that matter are the ones you accept. Before we begin, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss these inspiring stories of people who went from nothing to greatness. Now, let's rewind to North Philadelphia, where Kevin Hart's story first began. Kevin Darnell Hart was born on July 6, 1979 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Life wasn't easy. His father struggled with addiction and was often absent, leaving his mother, Nancy Hart, to raise Kevin and his older brother alone. Kevin's mother was strict. She believed in discipline, education, and keeping her sons out of trouble. While Kevin sometimes clashed with her rules, that discipline shaped his relentless work ethic. But Kevin had one escape: humor. From a young age, he realized laughter could break tension, win friends, and ease pain. He made classmates laugh, teachers laugh, even his mother, who rarely smiled. Comedy became his language. After high school, Kevin worked as a shoe salesman. But inside, he knew retail wasn't his future. Night after night, he performed at small clubs around Philadelphia under the name Lil Kev. The first shows were disasters. He bombed. The crowd booed. Club owners refused to book him again. One promoter even told him, "You're not funny. Find another career." It hurt. But Kevin didn't quit. He studied tapes of great comedians: Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Chris Rock. He learned timing, delivery, and crowd engagement. He realized he had been imitating others. To succeed, he needed to find his own voice. That shift changed everything. He started weaving his personal struggles into his comedy: his short height, his strict mom, and his chaotic life. Audiences connected because he was real. But still, the climb was steep. Kevin often traveled hours to perform for free. He handed out flyers himself. He endured empty clubs, rejection, and self-doubt. Some nights, he'd sleep in his car after gigs because he couldn't afford gas back home. Yet he kept going. Why? Because Kevin believed one truth: hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And slowly, his persistence began to pay off. By the early 2000s, Kevin Hart was starting to get noticed. He landed small roles in films like Paper Soldiers and Scary Movie 3. But success was inconsistent. His early stand-up tours barely made money, and he was still hustling to get audiences to recognize his name. His big breakthrough came with the comedy special I'm a Grown Little Man in 2009. For the first time, Kevin's unique style, self-deprecating, brutally honest, and high energy, hit home with audiences nationwide. People laughed not just at him, but with him. Then came Seriously Funny in 2010 and Laugh at My Pain in 2011. The latter grossed over $15 million, making it one of the most successful comedy tours of the year. Kevin Hart was no longer just a comedian. He was a brand, but Kevin didn't stop at stand-up. He stepped into Hollywood, starring in hit films like Think Like a Man, Ride Along, Central Intelligence, and lending his voice to The Secret Life of Pets. He even joined the cast of Jumanji, which grossed nearly $1 billion worldwide. Still, What set Kevin apart wasn't just his jokes, it was his work ethic. While other comedians performed a few times a week, Kevin was doing multiple shows a night. He built a reputation as one of the hardest-working entertainers in the business, and he didn't limit himself to comedy and acting. Kevin launched his own production company, Heartbeat Productions, giving him control over his projects. He invested in businesses, fitness ventures, and media platforms. Kevin Hart wasn't just telling jokes anymore, he was building an empire. Despite his success, Kevin Hart's journey wasn't smooth. He faced personal and professional challenges that could have ended his career. In 2013, during a tour, Kevin admitted to struggling with ego and distractions. His personal life made headlines, including failed relationships, controversies, and mistakes. He later said, "I had to learn to get out of my own way." In 2019, Kevin survived a near-fatal car accident. Doctors doubted whether he would ever fully recover. But Kevin shocked the world by returning to stand-up, sharing his experience of pain, healing, and gratitude. The accident became a reminder that life is fragile, and his resilience inspired millions. He also faced career setbacks, projects that failed, criticism over past mistakes, and even losing opportunities. But every time Kevin took responsibility, learned, and came back stronger. His philosophy was simple: fail, learn, grow, repeat. This mindset turned Kevin into not just a comedian, but a motivational figure. He published books like I Can't Make This Up, blending humor with life lessons. He built a social media following of millions, not just for jokes, but for his relentless positivity. In 2016 and 2019, Kevin topped Forbes' list of the world's highest-paid comedians, earning tens of millions annually from tours, films, endorsements, and businesses. From the kid who was booed off stage to the man filling stadiums worldwide, Kevin Hart proved that rejection is not the end, it's the beginning. Kevin Hart's story is living proof that failure is not final. Here are his biggest lessons for us all. Rejection is redirection. Those boos in his early career didn't end him. They pushed him to refine his craft. Find your voice. Success comes when you stop imitating others and embrace your authentic self. Work harder than everyone else. Kevin's relentless hustle, performing multiple shows a night, built his empire. Own your mistakes. He turned personal failures into lessons, not excuses. Never stop growing. From stand-up to Hollywood to business, Kevin constantly expanded his horizon. Kevin Hart once said, "Everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to do the work. I live by that. You grind hard so later you can play hard." So, if you feel rejected, overlooked, or underestimated, remember Kevin Hart. The same man once booed off stage is now one of the most successful entertainers in the world. If this story inspired you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that rejection is not the end, because sometimes the loudest no is just the universe pushing you toward your biggest yes.